One of the things that we are seeing in the hot drinks industry is when a product wants to come out onto the market in a category like coffee or tea, there's generally already quite a few other brands out there. The basic functionality of coffee and tea, how it's prepared, what role it plays in people's daily lives, that hasn't really changed for many, many years. And so one of the things that we start to see is innovations in not so much the product itself, but the way it's delivered to the consumer, the packaging around it, the way they're supposed to use it in order to brew the product itself. So one example of that is this product we saw in much of Western Europe, Germany, France, and England at least, and probably more. And it's a product called Bistrotea. It's a powder tea, but it comes in a single-serve sachet. But the difference is that it has perforations and it has holes in it. And so rather than opening the package and dumping the tea and mixing it, you actually just put the package itself into hot water and stir it around, and the tea is then diffused through the holes. One of the advantages of this kind of difference in packaging is it adds convenience, on-the-go kind of easy to brew, doesn't take very long, all you need is hot water. But it's also distinct enough to make the brand stand out, whereas the tea itself maybe doesn't have any more antioxidant or health benefits properties to it than anything else that you would find. People will still go and find this on the shelf if they want something that is easier to use and quicker. Another thing like this that we saw was a product launch in Argentina. There's a local drink there called Yerba Mate, and one of the main brands, Mate Listo Taragui, launched a single-serve version called Todo en Uno. And what that is mate, which is usually in a loose form or brewed kind of like a tea leaf. But instead of that, it's in a pre-made cup, sold generally in convenience stores, pre-mixed, and so it's ready to heat up and serve. And once again, there's this convenience aspect to it from a brand that is known in the region, but a different kind of process of preparation, a quicker process of preparation that will add value to the consumer looking for a familiar kind of experience, but something that they can do in less time and therefore take it in situations where they may not have had time to sit and brew a normal drink. These kinds of innovations are very popular for reaching a consumer, perhaps the same consumer that they're already reaching, but adding value to it in a way where they're perhaps adding more consumption occasions during the day, taking something that they would enjoy in a particular setting and moving it to a different setting, and therefore kind of adding more interest in the brand. One of the highest profile versions of this style of packaging innovation that we saw was from Starbucks, an instant coffee that they launched called Starbucks Via. They launched it in the US and later expanded to the UK and Japan and some other countries. Initially, Via was designed to be a higher quality, kind of Starbucks premium quality version of instant coffee. They have a proprietary brewing process that is different than the way other kinds of instant coffee encapsulate the grains to try to lock in the higher quality. And the other main feature of this is that it came in single-serve sachets in a way that instant coffee to that point really hadn't seen so much. We've seen a similar thing with powder concentrates, for instance, but not so much with instant coffee. So you have the convenience of a single serve, you have the high quality of a known brand like Starbucks, and once again, it's Starbucks launching a product that is attempting to extend the reach of their product in the daily lives of consumers that already kind of know and purchase Starbucks. The idea would be that people who go into a Starbucks outlet, people who buy the Starbucks coffee, the ground coffee from the store, that this would give them a faster, more convenient version of that that they could use in other settings. For instance, they launched it initially in REI and some other outdoor equipment stores, meant so that it was designed for hikers and people camping and that kind of thing. Certainly a setting where Starbucks normal ground coffee is not really commonly used. But that's since expanded to a much wider launch. It's in nearly every grocery outlet. It's in places like Walmart and Costco and so on. And that it seems like they have a much broader overall strategy there.
So the intent of Via was to offer a fresh ground taste with a much easier preparation, unlike other instant coffees that are perceived to not have the same taste quality.
So after Starbucks launched the Via single serve brew, they came out with a decaffeinated version, I believe. But the latest thing that they've done is to launch an iced coffee version of Via. So it's the same powder coffee, the same single serve, but the idea would be that you brew it cold, or you mix it with cold water. And they started to serve this in the Starbucks outlets, and then of course it's available as well, or will be available in all the grocery outlets and so on. This of course is their response to the big kind of trend in the last 2 summers really, which is that the Frappuccino product in the Starbucks outlets, which is an iced mixed blended coffee, came under very heavy competition from people like McDonald's with their McCafes, Dunkin' Donuts, and some of these other outlets. And so, especially in the summer seasonal months, iced coffee is a very popular product to get in fast food restaurants or in an on-trade setting. Via iced coffee is kind of one of the only major brands that's really trying to offer that same experience for home use, and once again with the convenience of a single serve. So the idea would be you could do it on the go and so on. I think trying to build that Via brand into something that can work year round, especially in the months that aren't as cold, where you wouldn't perhaps be drinking as many hot drinks.
One of the unique features of Via is that it utilizes a proprietary and patented manufacturing technology to help support the superior taste claim that Starbucks is making. So it's not just the Starbucks name that they're trying to get a superior product from a marketing perspective. They are supporting that with the proprietary manufacturing technology, and that makes it more difficult for other manufacturers to come out with a product that they claim to be of the same quality. And that's a means of Starbucks helping to protect their premium image with Via. And what that means is Starbucks is able to charge a premium price for their product because they're differentiating themselves from existing instant coffees. And that's why they are not viewing Via as being a high quality instant coffee, but a true single serve coffee with fresh ground properties that's easy to prepare.